I can't figure it out.
Okay. We'll
Fansies.
Okay, let's get this started. I'm like 14 minutes into my recording, literally.
Yeah, I'm like 8 minutes.
Morgan's gonna be like, fuck.
What the fuck happened? I'm putting something in my notes just saying episode recording starts around 14:20. Okay, cool. I'll bring us in a sec. Hello and welcome to the YASEcast. This is episode number 56. I'm Nick, coming at you live from the base of Yase. With me this week I have Jarv. Jarv.
What's up, everybody? That was me,
Jarv.
With a
What's
DJ
up,
drop.
What's up, everybody, buddy.
I'm not in a
And
big
we got
cave.
Velius. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Yeah, we're coming back at you again. A record-breaking 2 weeks in a row of recording.
Back to back.
We back on the horse, back at it again. The boys are back in town.
You know what they say? If you get bucked off that horse, you just get back on and ride.
If you fall off that horse, you stand back up, look that horse in the eye, and you challenge him to a first to 10. And if you win, you get to ride the horse. If you lose, I got some bad news.
Now I want to know, what if it's one of those Umamatsume horses that like drop kicks you in the face? Are you still gonna win? Are you still gonna even try to do the first to 10, or are you going to just be like, oh, my face is smashed in by a horse lady? Which, like, if
I'm dead.
if they're like analogous to the actual horses that they are, if that much horse like was able to be a person and drop kick you as you open a door, you would probably die.
Yeah,
there's so much horse. Horses
Even
are
if
just so much
just
horse.
regular drop kicks me like that's gonna fuck me up.
I'm just saying,
just
if it's
dying
like
anyways.
I'm just saying, if it's like the Uma Musume girls, then even when I lose, I win.
All right.
Now that I made Jarv completely move away from his
that
PC.
was great.
That was episode
excellent.
56. Thank y'all for listening. You can follow me on Twitter, SD_Eclipse.
I'm sorry.
No, never. Well, don't never apologize, but
I apologize for that one a little bit.
okay. Jarv, what have you been up to this past week? It's been a while since we've had you on, I feel like.
Yeah, so we didn't record for a minute, and then y'all recorded while I was on a vacation. I don't know. I'm a DJ tonight, and so I'm mixing the ones and twos, and the ones are a beachside beach house, I guess is what I'll say, and the twos are a nice, delicious intercoastal waterway inlet.
You're doing beach house remixes of beach house songs.
Yeah, but like beach house, as in like house music at the beach, because beach house sucks. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm feeling spicy tonight.
I was about to fucking throw down.
I like that first album quite a bit, and so I'm just fucking around. My
audio and Audacity definitely spiked. My microphone's like, whoa, hold on, Jesus Christ.
My wife and I went to Myrtle's Inlet, which is like pretty much south of Myrtle Beach, like 20 miles south of Myrtle Beach, and it's got an intercoastal waterway. So there's like a little inlet in between. We're kind of like on like a big strip of island, and so we were on a beach house that was more on the inlet side. So it's beautiful sunsets with the inlet right behind us and a big marsh and like fish jumping. It was incredible. Just kind of walked across like a small residential road to the beach, and the access was like literally across the street.
Rules.
It was incredible. Went to the beach a bunch. Went and brought my exercise equipment. Like brought some bands and some like my little TRX strap thing and some adjustable dumbbells. And my wife and I were working out, and my trainer had like a vacation workout set up for me. And I'm like, man, I am certified crazy. I am working out on fucking vacation. But it made me feel good.
I respect it, but also like, man, vacation.
Yeah, like
did you work out in the ocean? You're like, I'm gonna fucking do these reps and let Poseidon himself.
I did try to jump over a bunch
me.
of waves that were crashing on me, and so I guess that could be like some explosive, like plyo jump kind of shit. Yeah, so sure, yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
I worked the fuck out in the ocean.
That's just you played in the ocean. That doesn't.
Yeah. Oh,
that works.
And it was also a trip with a bunch of family, and there was a 3.5-year-old boy who had never been to the beach before, and so that was fun to like take my nephew to the beach.
Oh, was he loving it?
Oh yeah, until he wasn't. But I'm like, every kid has to get sand in his face and fucking seawater in the eyes. It's just part of life. You got to deal with that, or like get kind of freaked out by a crab that's running around for some reason. That's me. I don't like the crabs.
Damn.
No, Mr. Krabs. Congratulations, sailor. You made it to Friday is what I felt whenever I got off the beach on Friday. And I was like, I didn't die to a crab. I've seen those Yeti crabs. I've seen those spider crabs. They are haunting my nightmare. Oh.
I'm Googling Yeti crab.
Well,
oh my God. Don't Google Yeti crab. Don't Google
Yeti
crab.
Don't do it.
It's hairy.
Nick, you will find. So this is very funny. You asked me about, is there a new Clapcast?
I hate spiders.
There is a new
Clapcast,
Clapcast, and they talk about the Yeti crab, and it is terrifying. They're all freaking out on the Clapcast about how
spider crabs are pretty fucked up too. By the way, just throwing that one out. I don't like crabs anymore.
Yeah, it's like they all look like some like Subnautica nightmares.
The ocean's overrated.
I don't know what you mean. I want the Yeti crab to clap. Is what I want.
I want it to not exist.
Do you want the Yeti crab to like crab rave?
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like it would probably be doing some sort of ritual to kill you.
Yeah, it would be summoning like an elder god.
Oh yeah. I think Janine on the Clapcast said also don't look up a one of those Yeti crabs out of water because they get all clumped, like their little Yeti shit gets all clumped together like bad mascara. And I was like, I'm in the car and I'm imagining this and I want to die.
It's upsetting.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. We're not going to talk about the Yeti crabs anymore. We're going to go back.
Imagine going to Joe's Crab Shack for a delicious seafood feast with your family, and one of those things a Yeti crab walks up to you.
It's the server, and it's like, "Welcome to Joe's Crab Shack," and it's just staring at you. Yeah, I'd pretty much, it would be the end of me right there. So the vacation was really fun. We come home. It's Saturday. We at least have a little bit more of the weekend before the work week. But Sunday at like 9:30, I hear this buzzing sound in my room, or like while I'm in my room, that causes me to go outside. And I'm like, oh shit, I know what this is. So I have a sewage grinder pump. This is going to get a little gross content warning about poop.
We just had a whole.
I know. I probably should have done like
we had a scary crab moment.
Look, some people have different content things. Some people can handle scary crabs. They can't handle poop. Some people can handle poop. They can't handle scary crabs.
Everybody's pooped. I have never, however, had a scary crab come out of my butt, though.
I think those scary crabs would make me poop. Anyways, I digress. So this buzzing sound's going off. I go outside. We have this sewage pump grinder. My electricity and my water is from one utility company, but the sewage waste line is from the city's utility company, a different one. Okay. And so their sewage line is like a little bit higher physically, like in the ground, than my house. So we have this big reservoir, a tank just like dug out in our lawn with a cover on it. And as it, fills up with wastewater, once it floats up to like a certain level, a float valve switch kind of kicks on and says, hey, it's too full, run the grinder. It runs the grinder until the float valve comes down to like, 20%. It's like, all right, you're good now. We can turn it off. I go over there and this lid that I have, which granted, the lid was not in great condition because the thing is from like 2007. It's like a metal lid that was a little rusty, and there's like a big hole in it. Like looks like someone stepped on it. I think my like True Green lawn guy might have like stepped on it because he was at my house during the vacation, and that's the only person who would have been at my house to do something like that. So who knows? After I get all this done, I might try to hit up True Green and be like, pay for my shit, guy. Like, fuck you.
So you got a big old poopy grinder.
Yeah, so I got a big old poopy grinder, and it's awful to look at while it's running because it's just like, I know what's going on. Yeah, and I had to do that. So this thing was to the rim. Like to the rim. Like when my mom is a little bit drunk and she goes to a restaurant and she says, when I say Pinot Grigio to the rim, I say to the rim. And if you have to charge me extra for it, that's
I was really wondering where the comparison between a full poopy grinder and your mom was coming into it. Damn, that's harsh.
I don't know. She says some outlandish shit when she's into some Pinot Grigio, I guess. Because I would have been very embarrassed if I was with her. Sorry, Mom. So we got this poopy grinder, and it is to the rim. And if this thing backflows back into my house, game over. Sounds terrible. So my wife and I are like having our own separate and shared anxiety attacks over this. We're like, we can't use a single drop of water. She's afraid that like the ice maker is going to trigger the backflow and we're going to have shit ice.
You open up the freezer and gets, I love some good ice. And surprise, it's all poop ice.
It's just poop ice. And so,
oh no,
I'm really glad that didn't happen. So I call a plumbing service that I've had come out because they're also an HVAC service. And I was trying to get a quote on getting AC in my garage for my gym. So I call these guys and they have a 24-hour emergency thing. They get all my information. They're like, all right, the on-call manager will call you within 15 minutes. So 45 minutes go by and I haven't heard anything. And it's like, 10:30. And I'm just like, I'm tired. I got to go to bed. And my wife is like, okay, we'll try to go to bed, but keep your phone on so they can call you if it's like the middle of the night. Of course, they don't fucking call me. They don't fucking call me.
No, of course not.
And my wife gets like, 4 hours of sleep. And so I'm like, okay, it's now Monday. And this past Monday, I have to go to work. I have like a bunch of crap to do, but I can't because I have to wait around for, I end up working from home and doing some stuff, but I was just so anxious about this thing that I kind of ended up like not really doing a whole lot. So I took the day off. I was just like, fuck it. I'm taking the day off. I have to deal with this thing. And I finally called them back and I was like, hey, your guy never called me last night. What's going on? And they're like, okay, 15 minutes and 30 minutes go by. And I do get a phone call back and they're like, oh, great. We are booked solid for a whole week and we'll get to you next Monday. And I was like, fuck you very much. What is wrong with you? You took like over 12 hours to tell me eat shit. Like, I don't get it. These people are terrible. I finally got someone who would come out that day. The great dude, the owner of a plumbing company in town. He taught me how to run the grinder itself without this little like float valve bypass situation. So we're sitting there just running this gigantic Vitamix blender that lives in my fucking lot full of and it's just like and I'm watching this thing recede and I start to see part of the lid like knocked in there and I see this little pipe that was sitting on. I mean, this was like full on lid and it's like a manhole cover size part of that lid was just like fallen in. So like this dude must have like walked on it like you just like and like a couple other things in my yard were messed up too. So I do think it's the trigger.
Jumped on that fucking thing.
Yeah, I'm like it's not a fucking trampoline, my dude. So
yeah.
We're getting a new cover made for it. They got the float valve reinstalled. A new one installed today. There's currently like a bunch of little like cones and caution tape all around it, but they're going to make a new custom cover and put it on it. And that is my exciting story of the poopy shit grinder that gave me an anxiety attack for like 12 hours. And I'm glad. I know way more about septic waste and like sewage stuff. Here's the thing. When you own a home, it's just like, oh, I kind of like ignored that thing for a while because I was a little overwhelmed with some things and now it's coming home to roost, huh? Oh, that kind of happens sometimes when you're a homeowner, unless you're just like amazing, but I'm not because
it's cool. It's cool to own your own home and have your own place and shit like that. But man, renting an apartment also is kind of cool that I don't have to fucking deal with any of that shit.
I mean, my wife woke me up the next morning we were talking. She was like, this is so bad. I honestly had the thought last night, like, oh, wow, I wish we didn't buy a home. I really wish we just like kept renting.
Oh, no.
I know. But once we got it figured out and fixed, she's like, okay, I don't think that anymore. And I appreciate you taking care of that. So,
yeah. And then, of course, it's scary and it's stressful during the moment, but, it gets a little better. You got to get some air and calm down a little. So, but damn.
So, yeah, that was my really great week that turned into like hellacious emergency time, but I can flush my toilets again. Yay!
Hooray!
Yay!
All right, Vel, what shit related stories you got for us?
Well, I don't have any poop related stories, but I do have Splitgate related stories.
Ooh,
because you've been shitting on them. You've been shitting on them in Splitgate.
I really haven't, though. I've been doing pretty terrible lately.
You've been getting shitted on.
Yeah, I've been getting shitted and farted on.
Yo, hold up real quick. When you've been getting shitted on in the vortex, call that the sewage pump grinder.
Oh my Christ.
Nah, we're good.
No.
We're good.
It's so grimy though, bro.
No.
These mix-ups are so dirty.
So that was episode
y'all gotta cut
56.
me off.
Yeah, so I actually had the entire reason why I even downloaded Splitgate was because I wanted to test my graphics card if it would run Melty Blood when it comes out later this month, because the spec requirements are very similar. So I was like, hey, if it can run Splitgate, then it can probably run Melty. So I needed to test it, and I'm actually able to get. I mean, it doesn't look fantastic on the low settings, obviously, but well, it's on medium, which is more surprising. I get 120 FPS in Splitgate, so it's optimized very well. I gotta admit that much. Like my PC is not set up to run basically anything at 120 frames per second. So the fact that I can do that on medium settings on something that it wasn't designed for,
hell yeah,
it's a good sign. I like it. It gives me some optimism. So I was like, well, now that I know for a fact that Splitgate works, let me try to play it. And I mean, like, obviously it was free, and then I started playing it, and I was like, wow, this is actually really fun, even though my keyboard sucks and my mouse is a free piece of shit mouse that I got with my PC. And
I was gonna say, I saw you tweet a video of your keyboard today, and I was confused by it, so I didn't know what I was looking at.
So I uploaded it because this is the first time I've had a keyboard that is backlit. That wasn't on a laptop. Yeah. So honestly, I got it. It's normally this bundle I got is normally like $60, and my old keyboard was actually just starting to die anyway. Like the numpad was all fucked up. I would press 0 and it would press I would press 0 or I'd press F and it would type in 0F every time. But if I pressed S, then it would turn that off, or if I turned off the numpad, it would stop doing that. But if I pressed S, then the numpad turned back on. So the circuit. Fuck? Yeah, the circuitry of my keyboard must have just been going south because it's an old keyboard, you know?
Yeah.
So there were a whole bunch of misfiring connections, and there's no way to fix that, you know? Like, I tested out a different keyboard. There wasn't anything wrong with my PC. Like, I used a different keyboard that was another free piece of shit that I got, but I didn't have those same issues, so I knew it couldn't be anything with my PC if switching the keyboard didn't result in the same thing. It had to be the keyboard itself, you know?
Right.
So I said, fuck it, and, you know, just decided to get this one. And now I have a mouse that actually has 6 buttons. So using the portals is a shit ton easier now.
Wow, look at this gamer.
I know, true gamer hours over here.
Vel gaming?
Let me tell you, trying to use the portals in Splitgate with Q and E is a massive pain in my ass. And it was so frustrating because, like, you have to stop moving essentially to use the portal, which puts you at a huge disadvantage, especially when you're trying to, like, get the fuck out of Dodge after someone's chasing you through portals and trying to fire after you. Yeah. So being able to, like, let's see, like, now I have these side buttons, you know, so I can actually be aiming, be moving, and just fire the portal gun without any problems, which is a huge relief. But it's those small things that you don't really notice until you, like, try to get more into the game. Because, like, at the lower levels, when people are moving a lot slower, it's kind of fine. You know, you can just stop and place portals with a little bit more deliberate, you know, movement and everything, and it's fine. But when you start getting people who have been playing it for hours at a time, you know, they're throwing up portals, they're shooting you, you're trying to shoot them. It's fucking chaos, which, you know, I play Melty, so I like chaos, but this is the bad kind of chaos.
Dude changes their roles in the Yace Discord to Melty, and all of a sudden, just as a Melty player, I like chaos. Not even 12 hours.
It's like actually the only other thing that I've really been playing lately has actually been Melty, and I was actually playing it earlier during our good dear friend Ricky's stream when she had open lobbies, and it's one of those moments when you're playing fighting games and you like feel yourself level up, you know, when you're actually like landing your B&Bs consistently and you're doing your setups right and you're making good reads and you're approaching neutral in a different way. Like when I first picked up Melty, everything was so fast. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I didn't know how to reverse beat. I didn't know how to effectively use meter or anything. You know, when you don't know anything and the game is obviously like, it moves anime fast, you know? So you are pretty bad. Like you don't know your routes. All you're doing is just kind of landing buttons every now and again and hoping that you win. But earlier today I was playing and I was like, I'm actually landing these B&Bs with some consistency now, managing to use super. And it felt good, you know, like it's that moment where you feel like you're really getting into the groove of the game. So it felt good. That was like my little pat on the back for today, is that like, oh, I'm actually approaching neutral with, you know, intent to do something and go with a game plan, not just winging it.
Yeah, you're doing the win condition.
Yeah.
Doing the thing.
That's great. That's not something I've ever experienced with Melty, because I've always I've just been in that, oh, I don't know what's going on, and I'm playing against people who like clearly have more than just an idea, so get fucked with me. And I never had like a character I like loved, but MBTL looks like a game that I definitely want to put time into. And as CC it coexists with it, I think Actress Again Current Code will have its own kind of, you know, it's sort of like how people play Plus R and Strive, or Plus R and Exert and Strive. You know, people will play Actress Again and they'll play MBTL, because I think there's enough of a difference between the two that, you know, there's already heads being like, oh, I don't see that kind of like Melty speed, you know, what you're talking about, Vel. I don't see it in MBTL. Like the cut-ins, you know, are just a little too much. I think the cut-ins are a little much, but the launcher cut-in, like, I don't care. The launcher cut-in's fine. I do like the one cut-in where it shows your opponent too being like,
yeah, oh god, I fucked up face.
My favorite is Coma, because Coma's just like, looks like fucking wicked either way, giving or receiving.
Yeah.
So I don't particularly mind the cut-ins.
Versatile.
I don't mind the cut-ins as much since they go so fast, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing, like if they were even like a split second longer, I'd probably care because they happen so often. But because they just, you hear like a noise and that's it. It's over.
It's not like getting counter hit in Strive where it just feels like the game fucking slows to a crawl.
Yeah, it's like in Strive, it seriously just grinds down to a halt, and then you get back into the actual, like, did you need that though? Like,
and for the Strive ones, it's more about, you know, recognition of the counter hit state to do a better combo for like newer players. I think that cut in just to look cool and to be like, we have HD graphics for the first fucking time with this series. So check it out. Look at that. Like, look at how cool this is. The other thing is, like, it doesn't seem all that much longer from like the time it takes. The cut-in might make it seem like it takes longer, but think about like hitting S with like anyone in like UMVC3. It's like, psh, whoop, like there's like a fly screen, you know, like there's just like some launchers just kind of like do a thing. And I feel like launchers have been doing a thing in fighting games for a minute, and some people are just like, wow, this is just too much. Twitter was like blowing up about it.
I think just with TL, there's a lot of good potential for it. You know, there's I actually had a different thought in mind and I completely forgot what it was. But, you know, like, it's definitely a different kind of pace from current code. I don't know. I like it. One thing I do like about it too is how much information on the screen it gives you for like everything. Yes. There's always like there's a little pop-up that comes off to the side for everything that you do, like whether it's a punish, whether it's counter, whether it's shield, whether it's invincibility, all the way into...
Invincibility is a good one.
Yeah. And it's like, that's actually really helpful, and it's not like interrupting the flow of the game at all. So it's like, if you know, when you finish playing a good match and you download the replay, there's a lot of information you're going to be able to parse out of it. Like, oh, I used shield here and it did nothing, because you can see the notification that, you know, shield activated on so and so frame, outside of just the visual imagery. Yeah, or hey, this granted invincibility here that might be useful in the future. You know, it's actually good to have more information without it like directly interfering with the gameplay. That's just good design. Even like ASW games that have done like the you blocked an overhead low, or you stood up for a low, that image is like so like directly over the character, or like so in the game, as opposed to just like over here, like in Street Fighter 5. I feel like that style of cross up, counter, you know, that not even counter, like shield, invincibility, punish, those types of that indication, that information is very useful to those who know what that stuff is and can, like you're saying, like kind of use the data with the context to make information about how to better play the game. Yeah. If a new player doesn't know what any of that shit means, or like why they should look at that, or you know, how to improve using that information, it's kind of worthless to them. So I would hope that when games include these types of things, they also have like an overt explainer, like, look at this that you did, and it gave you this pop-up. This is invincibility. It means that you can do a move and it goes through other people's, and like, you know, show a little movie, do a little tutorial mode or something. If you don't like really drill that stuff in, and the vets and the heads are going to be like, I don't care, this is stupid, but like, I don't know, put some colors behind it, and then people will do it. Also, like, because it's off to the side too, it's basically like if there's a casual player or a new player who doesn't, you know, who just wants to go in and push buttons, and they don't give a shit, they don't have to look. Like, it doesn't obscure the screen like at all. So it is useful for the people who want to use it, and a non-factor for the people who don't want it to be a factor. It's a win-win. I don't see the problem here. You know? Yeah,
you got to choose to engage with it. And if you don't even know how to engage with it, well, then it's just some things that pop up. But if you at least know enough that when you're watching Team Spooky, you know, Next Level Battle Coliseum, and is that what it's called?
Honestly, I don't even know.
Next Level Battle Circuit.
I'm thinking Neo Geo Battle Coliseum.
Yeah, you are.
I do it every single fucking time in GPC.
Yeah, boy.
Well, I think I'm just going to call it Next Level Battle Coliseum from now on. Anyways, it's
NLBC.
NLBC.
Oh yeah,
because like I got friends who, like, you know, they might play a little bit of fighting games here and there, but like they mostly just kind of watch, or you know, they play things that I don't know, or they play MK, and so I'm like, whatever. Sorry to the MK fans, don't really care. The vibe from those people when they watch fighting games as like a content stream, as something to like engage with, to be like, oh, I want to see matches and I want to like learn a little bit more about the game. That kind of stuff popping up is also easy to engage with, because you're not worrying about playing the fucking game, and you have hopefully competent, you know, casters who will try to explain some of that stuff. If it's a beginner focused tournament, or if it's not, they'll go, I don't know, make banana shiki memes. Don't fucking do that.
It actually makes me think of like Tekken 7 is actually the exact inverse, where it basically gives you zero information about anything that happens ever.
It gives you information is in the loading screen. It's like, hey man, do you know how to low parry? Try that.
It's like, oh fuck, that's a thing. The real tutorial. It's the Dark Souls of fighting games. The real all the lore is all in the move descriptions.
First of all, that would be sick. Second of all, Dark Spirit has invaded my training mode, and it's now a first to 3. That's how it feels like whenever I'm doing the online strive, you know, waiting in training mode, because the training mode, sometimes it finds me a match before I've
someone has invaded my Tekken bowling.
Dark Spirit invaded my Tekken bowl.
Has invaded the bowling alley.
Part of the Tekken Force Covenant.
That makes me wish that there was a bowling level in Tekken 7. There's not, though.
No, it's you go bowling. You know, you ever go down to the bowling alley and suddenly a dark aura blankets the entire building, and then you see a bear that has its palette swaps to be black with red eyes. That ever happened to you?
And then you got to throw hands,
and then the bear just rolls around a bunch, and you're like, fuck, I can't hit you.
The bear is going to be dressed up like the big like high tower shield guards with like the gigantic greatsword and shit. I'm just gonna be like, come on, man, it's a Dave and Buster's. I'm just trying to get my 2 for $20.
Man, I don't even like Dave and Buster's. I don't want to get owned here.
Don't let me die in Dave and Buster's. They're going to be like, oh, when you go to play the fucking bad PIU machine that doesn't get any love. Died as he lived playing fucking Time Crisis 4. It's not even a good one.
I got backstabbed when I was playing skee ball. It was fucked up.
I was basketball and just...
This bear whacked me with a salmon when I was in the middle of playing Cabela's. Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
A great salmon. The salmon Drake sword. The bear has to go and repair it like pretty quick.
Not really. I wish Type Lumina was out already. Now I just really want to fucking play it already.
Sound like a week, right?
9 days.
9 days.
September 30th.
Who are we playing in NBTL? Who are we playing
I'm
in
gonna play
NBTL?
Roa because he seems very similar to H Roa in Current Code, and that's who I've been playing in Current Code.
I don't know what any of that means. Roa's the one that doesn't look like he used to, but he's still like Mr. Electricity.
Yeah,
Michael Val.
Michael
Roa.
Yeah, Roa. So
I'm gonna be. Sorry.
That's it. So there's there's Honest Mids Michael, which is C Roa. That's the one that's really fucked up, but is also like super high execution. Then there's Mikey. That's H Roa. I call him Michael Motorcycle, but that one hasn't caught on yet with the greater player base. And then there's Full Moon Roa.
Day 3 on this game.
I don't fucking know a single goddamn thing about F Roa.
Roa.
I
know a thing about Freya.
Freya. I haven't seen a good Freya picks in a while.
Val, who you gonna play?
I'm going to be playing every version of Maids because
Yay!
I have to stay on brand.
Maids player. I want to play
to stay on
Hisui.
brand. I'm going to be playing. I'll probably end up like actually picking up Hisui as a kind of like gimmick secondary. But the character I play in Current Code is CL, so I'll probably keep playing her and then try out the character I'm most interested in actually trying out is Dracula Swordman Vlov. Yeah. I want to see like how he's gonna work in Type Lumina. So I'm gonna try him out of curiosity. I don't know if I'll actually stick with him, but CL's kind of just my go-to character, and she looks like she handles very similar. I mean, she's a Shoto, so it's kind of difficult to not just have it translate over inherently, But I want to see how different she is in between Current Code and Type Lumina. So I'll definitely be sticking with her.
I have a question about Vlov. So I don't know anything about Tsukihime or any of this shit. Vlov is like from the Tsukihime new remake, I guess, as like a new antagonist or something.
I think so. Yeah,
they're not in the original Tsukihime that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I saw something about.
I think he's one of the new ones there.
Like, there's like a fight in the VN with him, and he's like a cool zoner in the VN, and so people were like, "Wow, if you've played the new like Tsukihime remake, and then you see like the Vlov trailer, you're like, damn, that is Vlov, and that looks sick."
That's Vlov.
My boy Vlovin over here.
You Vlovin. Ooh.
Yo, that Vlov do be looking cool. I gotta pick a maid. I don't know. I like Hisui because I just like the idea of like, all right, here's your picnic. I'm gonna fucking block. Just fucking block. And if you block all 4 of my overheads, you deserve to hit me. But if I don't like keep it tight, then I deserve it. I deserve to get hit.
Make sure you use the chair C normal too, just for funsies. Imagine getting hit with a chair. Like a heavy...
You've watched wrestling.
No, but that's... No. This is like a heavy wooden antique chair.
Yeah, this is not the steel chair. Or the steel cage. But now, the steel cage could be fun. Kohaku, on the other hand, does seem really fun because I like the big fireball plant monster special.
It looks super cool now.
Yeah, because I think that dude used to be like 3 bars or something in the old game, and it's just 1 now. I'm crapping that dude out. just being like, oh, here comes the high lows.
And then there's going to be, of course, tag team maids as well, in case you
I don't even know
just
how they
wanted
work.
to live your best life. So it's like you tag in, and you still get the majority of their specials and normals in between the two, depending on who you're in control of. And you can also use the other character as like assists at points.
Yeah, I think a friend of mine said that like your tagged out maid, if you do like one of their specials, they can do like some limited specials. You could have Kohaku do like the Antifa bomb.
Yeah. At least that's how it worked in current code. Obviously, we don't know how it'll work in Type Lumina, but it would probably work similarly.
I don't know. She looks more like maybe like an Italian fascist or something.
Oh God.
I'm glad.
Fucking
I'm
false
glad.
flag.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that. I'm just throwing that shit out there.
Kohaku
I was a
Gladio.
little- I don't know. I originally, when I first tried picking up like Melty a couple years ago, Kohaku was the person I tried to play. I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. Like looking at like the tier list, like Kohaku's like way up there. This will be sick. Just didn't enjoy playing Kohaku at all. And it's like I've talked to a bunch of people from the Michigan scene who play a lot of Melty. And it's like, hey, like I want to find like the character for me. This is who I tried to play. And they're like, oh God, no, yeah, like Kohaku is a fucking like if you're a lab monster, if you're an absolute just like fucking grind lord, then yeah, play Kohaku. But if you're not, then don't. Then Kohaku is not the character for you. No. So I was like, all right, cool. And they set me on the path with Roa. So and I've been very happy that that's like exactly the character that I enjoy playing.
What does Roa do? Just like lightning bolt people?
Pretty much. So the
like
one that I
throw?
play is like pretty straightforward. He doesn't have any real like high low or like left right mix ups. It's just literally just pressure
strike
people
throw with
well and
mids.
yeah.
Is that the whole honest mid Michael thing?
He's the mid dispenser. He has a couple things that are like air and blockable. So really it's like just don't jump because like one of his supers is completely air and blockable, which is like a bunch of like lightning bolts that just like go across the screen.
Okay, I've seen that one.
Then like his regular lightning bolt special, same thing. Then he essentially has like, I don't know what the name of it is. I'm gonna call it light speed Blanca Ball. Where he just like, he covers himself with electricity, he hunches down, and then just zooms forward. It's light speed Blanca Ball. I don't know what to tell you.
That's the one. That's the one.
But yeah, so it's just watch. It's all like air and blockable. So I don't know. He's super fun. I like the moving around in that game. I like the running around.
Yeah. It sounds like he's like, don't get cute with me. Let me do my thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't jump over me. Just sit there and block.
Pretty much. And that's like the funny thing too, is like I'm kind of learning more of that in Melty. It's like, yeah, you have like a guard gauge that can get, you can get guard broken in Melty, but it's also like, I can chill and just weather the storm for a while. None of it is like that tricky to block. Granted, I haven't played a lot of people, so I'm sure there's going to be some real nasty shit, but as long as it's like, as I can resist the urge to throw out a button, I feel like I can weather the storm.
What it is. That's what it is from, some little Twitter meme video I saw that was like, I don't know what that song is. That's like, la, la, la. No, we can't do that. We'd have to get permission for that. So cut that.
Oh, I know the song you're talking about, I think.
Yeah. And so it's just like Roa and Hime and Nero just like all kind of like doing pressure resets that are just like, you kind of have to hold. And Hime's is just like do a block string and then just like wait and do a 2B and you just like clips Nanaya or something trying to use like their own 2B and just like, get fucked. It's just like the ability for even on pressure, sometimes all you have to do is be like, okay, it's level 2. I'm just going to like stop pushing all the buttons as fast and just kind of let you run into my shit because you're like, I want to get out of here. And that's where the fun begins.
Let them fucking hang themselves,
Yeah, I used to do that with Faust and shit.
That is what it be.
I do like a character that is like, if you feel bad, you should feel bad about yourself. Not like, don't hate my character. Hate your inability to deal with the basics.
Hate your bad decision making.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you should have
That shit is
known.
on you.
Like, stay honest. That shit's on you. I can't help you. That's above my pay grade. That one's on you. Look in the mirror, etc., etc.
Damn.
What you been up to, Nick?
Yeah. We've heard from us. We haven't heard from you.
I know I said I wasn't going to talk about Cruelty Squad for yet another week in a row, but
hey, Nick, I've heard of this game a little bit, but I don't know anything about it. What is Cruelty Squad, Nicholas?
That's hard to describe because the word immersive sim gets thrown around a lot, and I don't really know what the fuck immersive sim means. So I looked up immersive sim, and I was still confused.
It's all the Bethesda game, or not Bethesda. Who am I thinking of? Like whoever did like Dishonored and shit.
The fucking but like the way it's described is like a video game that emphasizes player choice. I don't really think so. I don't really get that from
Fable.
That's the thing that comes to mind. But like Fable's not really a good game
ever at all in any capacity.
It's not really fun.
No,
I went back and
when you bad, you get horns.
I went back to play fucking Fable on Xbox One. It's on like Fable Anniversary is on Game Pass, so I was like, I'll play Fable 1. Game runs like fucking shit.
Yeah, that's fucking garbage.
For like the Anniversary collection on the fucking like 2 generations further along, it runs like fucking dog shit. And I was like, this game kind of sucks. Like thinking about it, like how did this launch like multiple games? That's fucking crazy.
Yo, you should go back and play Black and White. That game's fucked up.
I remember like reading about that. This game sounds cool, but I never fucking played it.
Super weird.
I don't know, man.
Super fucking weird.
I don't know. I mean, the fastest way I can describe Cruelty Squad, it is a first-person shooter with intentionally bad graphics, and it is hella anti-capitalist. Super fucking anti-capitalist. And it parodies, to the point where the market is treated like a literal breathing god. And that's the way that it's spoken about and stuff like that. And it's really cool though. It's a really good game. It's wrapped up in this shitpost veneer. And it's kind of hard to look at, but it's fucking cool as hell. I really like it. I looked at Steam yesterday. I'm actually looking at Steam again now, but I only got it on the 11th. So 10 days ago. And I feel like I've been talking about it for months with how much I talk about this fucking game. I love it. It rules. I don't need to say it anymore. If y'all listened to the last one, y'all heard me gush about Cruelty Squad. But yeah, I finally beat the last level on that. The last secret mission that requires you to go through every main mission and every secret mission, and then you get so on and so forth. Y'all know what it fucking is.
Okay, so I'm reading about it. It's a cool looking... No, I take that back. Not a cool looking game at all. Actually,
there's a really good article on Waypoint about it. I would highly recommend reading that later.
So I don't love looking at it, but I can deal. However, just reading the wiki, it seems pretty great. And there's no subtext. It's I know authors that use subtext and they're all cowards. The text is capitalism bad.
Yeah. There's some really fucking the developer's so fucking funny. I think I posted this in our channel last week. Yes, I did. We were recording. So David Jaffe played the game on stream or whatever, and he was just shitting on it. Just being really fucking whatever. And so the dev actually responds pretty earnestly. So, why do you think the reviewers on Steam are trolling? I work on this game 8+ hours almost every day. Do my best to make it as good as I can with the resources I have. Have you considered that people have different tastes? To which he responds, I'm making a response video right now. I'll explain everything in there. Which is oh, so you just tried to fucking stir up some fucking controversy or some shit just so that way you can move this into, I'm going to make a YouTube video so I can get some fucking money off that. And just the fucking response is great. I posted that in the Yace Media channel. I can't remember the name of the guy that is, but it's a picture of someone whose eyes are bloodshot red. Looks like they have been doing a lot of crying.
Oh yeah, that's fucking Brendan Fraser.
That's what I thought, but I was I can't remember.
I think it's Brendan Fraser.
I think Brendan Fraser, and I think Fraser the show. And I'm I know that's not it.
No, you got to think of The Mummy.
Yeah, I'm thinking of The Mummy.
I'm also looking at this tweet that you had posted. Cruelty Squad is the gift that keeps on giving, and apparently they used these Newsweek articles of the the home where like Bin Laden was killed.
The Bin Laden compounds, and
Yeah,
that's in one of the maps. That's in the second level of Paradise. It's in a corner of the map that you don't have to go to, and there's Bin Laden's compound. And
So this really is like a parody.
If you go to the very top, there's a cool sniper rifle that's really good.
Yo. And the fucking Unabomber cabin is in it too. Oh my god.
Is it?
Jesus. Yeah, I'm looking at one of the replies. Apparently the Unabomber cabin is in it. Also featured in Control, which is pretty neat. But I mean, people are saying, "Oh, it could be a stretch," but like this motherfucker looks like the fucking Unabomber cabin.
Oh, I don't think that's supposed to be the Unabomber's cabin.
Oh, okay. It looked like
Because
it, but I can understand how it does
like
look a
if they
stress.
wanted to do that, they do the same thing with like the Bin Laden compound and make it like nearly 1-to-1.
And
but that
probably
isn't.
also like super festive.
Yeah.
And I use festive in the style of Cruelty Squad, I guess. But yeah, this game looks pretty neat. Is it just a Rainbow Six kind of game? Like I keep seeing tactical shooter, and I think R6.
It's definitely something that you can't just like you cannot just run and gun in that game because you'll get fucking obliterated.
So it's like a SWAT kind of game. You know,
I don't know, man. It's just it's the Dark Souls of first person shooters.
Played Rainbow Six.
You just got to be careful. You can't just go run into things.
Chavez is going to run up on you because I gave him the command, the strategies.
Your puny flesh body can only hold so much blood, and when you're out of blood, you're dead. That's how bodies work.
That is true.
I
know this much.
That's why vampires are always alive, because they don't need blood. That's why I can't kill them.
That I'm always saying this.
Who would want to?
Many people are saying this. I'd fuck up a vampire if I had the opportunity. Hell yeah.
I'd fuck a vampire if I had the opportunity.
Well,
yeah, you can do that with.
You can also do that.
Probably one of those White Wolf source books for Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
sex source
99% positive you can do that in there.
It might not even be in the source book. It might just be in the fucking player's guide.
Might be.
White Wolf be like that sometimes. I've tried to read some of those books from the 90s, and
you could also not, which is probably the better choice.
It's great. In fact, I'm not doing that right now. I'm recording a podcast. And of all the tabletop RPGs I could be reading, I'm reading a much better game, Heart, The City Beneath.
Hell yeah.
Very fun.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't had a whole ton going on this week. I've just been kind of vibing. I took yesterday off work just because I was like, I need to have a day off.
Yeah.
I need a pure just Nick and Irwin day. Hanging out at home, being shitheads. Aww. And that's what I did. I was a big old shithead yesterday. It was great.
The shithadery was high.
It was 11 a.m. and I was like, why can't I have a little bit of soju? Let me just pour me a little sippy right now.
Besides, why shouldn't I?
Why shouldn't I?
What flavor was it?
Ginger.
I've never had that before.
I've never had fucking ginger soju.
Listen, I'm sure this is some absolute cheap shit because I found it for like $5 on sale at the liquor store. But it's fine. It's enjoyable. I'm probably gonna have some once we get off the call here.
Now I'm gonna have to go get some grape soju because that's my personal favorite.
I'm a big fan of grapes, so I'm
getting real thirsty.
God, so am I now. Maybe I'll have to just disappear for a minute off the cast so I can get some grape soju.
Not at a bad point to stop. we could stop and just go get some soju.
We could.
I don't have any soju.
And then play Melty Blood.
We should absolutely play Melty Blood.
I'm down to watch y'all drink soju and play Melty Blood.
Play Melty Blood. All right, well, that was episode 56. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Velius and Jarv, for coming on. As always, you can find me on Twitter at SD_Eclipse. Yeah, Jarv, I'm into the show. I am actually doing it.
Yeah, can I say my Twitter and stuff too?
Yeah, I was about to ask you. Jarv, where can the people find you?
Well, y'all can find me over at Jarv Dog, like a DAWG kind of dog, on Twitter and on Instagram because I took a couple pictures from that little beach vacation and not pictures of my weird shit reservoir grinder.
Your weird shit grinder.
and put it in on Instagram. Yeah, so you can find me over on Instagram. You can also find the team over at YaseWorld. You probably already know if you're listening to it, but Yase.World. brings you to so many Yace-related properties, including our Discord and the couple things that are left in the boutique. And secretly, if you poke around, maybe you can find Vince's oro.txt.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I mean, you don't have to poke around there because eventually, let's be real. Vince has been working on the Oro 3S wiki page, so hopefully you can just go to that and you can learn how to play that game for real instead of just going to like our website. But anyways, yeah, Yace.world, hit up the Discord, join. Hit up the Super Yace
could you imagine, like, what if instead of character discords, it was, I hid this text file on a site somewhere?
Oh my God.
No forums, no character discords, just random websites across the internet have text
I have
files.
I have to be a goddamn detective and find these hidden text files.
Hey, if you want the B&Bs for this new character, you got to go to ilovebees.com.
Oh my God.
Engaging with the alternate reality game.
Jesus. Vel, where can the people find you at?
Find me on Twitter at _Velius and find me talking about films and fighting games at realbetteronfilm.wordpress.com.
Hell yeah. And you can find the YASEcast come back at you live in hopefully one more week. We'll see if we can get a three-peat going, get a hat trick. Fingers crossed for us. But thank you all for listening. Stay beautiful, stay kind, and remember, it don't cost shit to be nice. Later.